Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of We Love Rare Grooves. And I'm very, very excited tonight to bring you this show, as we do every Monday night, streaming across the globe, all over the world. Thank our listening audience. Hey, I just got my phones in, so I couldn't hear what I was saying for a couple of seconds there. Now I'm with you. Welcome to We Love Rare Grooves on www.rmconair.com. And we're here for another exciting Monday evening here. Give me some claps, some hand claps. Yes, we have another great show. And I know it's like every week we say how we're going to top this and what artists can we bring on, and it's almost like we love all our artists that comes on, but it's like children, you know. It's like, but some you love just a little bit more than others. And tonight we got someone that's just dear to my heart that I'm glad to have on our show here on We Love Rare Grooves. And we do this every week for our listening audience, bringing you the music of the magic and the magic of the music, as we only can do right here on We Love Rare Grooves. So I want to thank our listening audience. I'm your host, C. Mose, and I can't do this show without our cast and crew. Starting it off, as we do always, with the world-famous DJ DeVoe. What you say?
Hey, how we doing?
What's going on, my good man? What's going on? How you been, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Just geeked about our artist tonight, legend. So I'm like smiles from ear to ear. So been playing her music for years.
Man,
12 inches albums. So
78s.
Yeah.
Hey, we missed you last week, man. Tell us in 30 seconds or less. We were betting. Someone said bar mitzvah. Someone said a Mongolian event. What exactly?
Quite a difference.
It was a Mongolian event that actually they had a pop group singing. So,
okay.
So it was pretty cool. It was three guys. It was kind of interesting. I'd never heard music like that before.
Right. But that's why they call you the world famous DJ DeVoe.
Yeah. So
all
ethnicities. I just sat back and engineered for him. So
okay.
It was all good.
All right, man. Well, we're glad to have you back. We're missing out on your sidekick, Reg, but he'll be back with us in a few weeks.
That's right.
And we can't do the show without our main man over there, Mr. Greg New York Sneed, the producer extraordinaire.
Yeah. Brooklyn's in the house.
You in the house, baby?
We in the house, man.
But we got this side of the coast tonight, though, right?
Yeah.
Because we're always talking about the New York side of the coast.
Well, yeah. Every now and then we got to,
do something.
yield to the others.
Well, I appreciate.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then, you got your man over here, the consultant, Robert A. What's going on?
Man, it's good. We had a great weekend. We had a birthday party for somebody.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is also. But even more than that, we are just excited with our guest today, because she's got gifts. And when people there's a lot of phrases that people use, multifaceted and all of that, but she is. When you look under musical magic, there's her picture in the dictionary.
Yes.
All right.
She got it like that.
Magic fingers.
There you go.
Don't give it away. All right.
Hey,
and also, tell them about your book real quick. Plug it.
Know Your Soul, the music of a lifetime. It's about black music and culture from 1965 to 1990. And guess who's in the book? Our guest, whose name is... Oh, that's right. We're not supposed to say.
But as we do, she's always first in our book, even though we announce her last. We have the beautiful and talented co-host, Miss Santana Irie. What's going on, my lady?
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
We're doing good, dear. How you doing?
I'm wonderful.
I seen you perform, and you did not tell us.
Oh, that was last week or the week before last. Last week at Zen's.
Yeah, I seen somebody posted it, right.
Yeah, I was performing for my friend Eddie's birthday.
Oh, so did you hear that young whippersnapper? She performed at someone else's birthday
party.
But he asked me, he called me and asked me.
I called you too.
You didn't ask me. You called me to come and entertain. You didn't call me to come
None
and
of y'all sang.
No, there's a difference, right?
Right.
He said just be there. Okay.
You got to twist it. Entertain. She's oh no, I don't do that.
I come from a good family.
I'm a church-going girl.
Well, you sounded great, though, dude. You sounded great.
Thank you.
But we want to thank our sponsors for helping to continue the project, as we have Spectrum Link, where you get the fastest, right, gang? The fastest.
So fast.
Fastest.
Yes.
Speedy.
Fastest internet service for your business needs. Give them a call. Spectrum Link.
Spectrum Link. Yeah.
Spectrum Link. And then we have Wings Limousine.
Where you ride
like a star.
One more time. We have Wings Limousine.
Where
We
you
ride like a star.
Hey, as we get the show started tonight in the Groove Studios, we got a legend here in the Groove Studios. We have one of the world top jazz pianists. She has performed with and produced with such esteemed artists as, I'm just going to name a few: Stevie Wonder, Herbie Hancock, Prince, Lionel Hampton, Carlos Santana, George Benson, Tom Jones, Nancy Wilson, Michael Jackson, on and on and on as we can go. She has played in some of the most world's prestigious jazz festivals and events. She is classically trained pianist. She has spent her lifetime honing in on her skills in one of the music's industry's most versatile and sought-after artists. She has recorded over 14 solo albums for her credit right now, and been on many more. And she was the first woman. Check it out, because we got a lot going on at first with women. She was the first woman to be the music director for the Grammys. Also, first woman to head composer, music director for the television Emmy Awards, and that's a big one right there. And also, she's been the first woman music director at Image Awards, and still after 12 years, she is doing her thing there. And without further ado, I want to introduce the lovely, talented, legendary Ms Patrice Rushen. Welcome to the studio. We were like, get that out. Thank you. It is an honor, and we are so blessed. This means so much to someone that cleaned a lot of seeds off your album.
One show. Come on.
Come on.
One show.
All right, I met my baby mama.
It's too late. It's too late now.
Haven't you heard? Say no to drugs.
One show.
I'm
thank
sorry.
you for having me.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So the show tonight, this is all about you, your
Okay.
music. We're going to bring the music back up for some of the things they may have forgotten about, have some conversations about it, talk about that transition that you went from jazz to that wonderful music that you've played over the years, and what's happening with you now. We got to let the listening audience, we're in 71 different countries, so if they don't know you, they should know you tonight.
Okay. Very
As we
good.
continue
Very
the
good.
show on We Love Red Grooves, what is the Groove team going to do? We're going to kick it off with some music selections, or
We kicked it off already.
we already kicked it off?
Kicked it off.
We already kicked it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we kicked it off. What's that in the background playing?
Let me see. I think that's my very, very, very first record.
Get out of
Very first
here.
album.
When you was about what? How old were you on that one?
At Lock High?
18. No, I had just left.
Okay.
I had just left. So I was 18.
You was 18 and you put something together like this.
Yeah.
With the magic
With
finger.
the magic. So when did you kind of first start getting involved with music? How old were you?
Oh, really young.
Really young?
Really young. I
Soon as you got out of Pampers?
almost. We didn't have Pampers back then.
Cloth
To wear cloth
diapers
diapers.
with the safety pin.
There it is. You're old enough to know about that.
I do.
Okay. Well, both my parents worked. 6 years difference between my younger sister and I.
Okay.
So I was an only child for a short time. And during that time, I was in a nursery school program. That nursery school program probably was the start of the whole thing, because the teacher there had us doing a lot of different activities. And I would just come to life, it would seem, when we did any kind of music related activity. So dancing and, singing the songs and all of that. I was really small as a kid, and so I was a little shy. But during any kind of music thing, that's when I came, I was like light up. So she told my folks about a program that actually was happening at the University of Southern California. It was a graduate course, music education course called Eurythmics. And what they used to do is study little kids who seemed to be gifted in music. They want to know and develop theories about how to teach them. Did they all hear the same thing? How did they converse about the music? Lots of body movement, lots of things like this, and also teaching us, basic theory and things like this at a kid's level.
Wow.
So I was in this program, and you could stay in this preparatory department, right up through high school. At about 5, they would introduce an instrument. Piano was chosen for me. And you keep going to your lessons, and they had a comprehensive musicianship class, and there were all these things that we had to do as kids. And as you would grow, they would pile on a little bit more information. So I actually met, a lot of people in that program. You might know the name Billy Childs.
Yes.
Billy was in that program. We actually crossed paths as teenagers during that time.
Wow.
And I would go to my music lesson, my piano lesson every week. And had great teachers because they knew no boundaries as far as the music was concerned. Their thing was always to communicate through the music. And that's the kind of thing we were doing even as little kids. So it started really early.
Okay. Did you play any other instruments?
Not till junior high, when I threatened to stop playing the piano because all my friends who were cool had cases.
Right.
They carried cases.
And
Right.
it's very cool to carry a case.
You had a case, you had a clarinet,
Yes.
or you had a trumpet,
or violin.
Saxophone.
violin, or something like that.
Right.
And I didn't have a case. Piano, you don't have a case.
Right.
A little hard to carry that around.
You know what I mean? So I threatened to quit, and my parents said, well, why don't you play something else that you could play with other people? So I've learned to play flute.
Okay.
And through junior high school, and my first couple years of high school, most people knew me as a flautist.
Okay.
Wow.
Since you played the flute, what's the artist that played the flute?
Bobby Humphrey.
Right, Bobby Humphrey. You ever meet Bobby Humphrey?
I have.
Okay. I was just came to mind when you said flute. Nothing to do with the questions here or anything. What was something very interesting that we would know that would enlighten us through high school that kind of triggered your success? Just something out of interest.
Well, first, I think the biggest thing was that it was an all-black high school that I went to. I went to Locke.
Yeah.
Now back then is Locke the way it is
Home of the
now?
Lockers.
No,
it was different.
It was different.
Completely different.
All Southern League, yeah. It was
a
different.
new school then. It was built after the Watts riots,
Okay.
and it was supposed to be like a command center in case something should go down again. But it was a high school built off the same plans as Crenshaw High School. So our schools look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Had an amazing music department because the teachers there came from the junior high school that was across the street, fed into the school, Gompers Junior High.
Gompers Middle School, yeah.
So in Donald Dustin and Frank Harris, who were there, they also teamed up with Markham
Middle school,
Middle
yeah.
School, Junior High. And there was a teacher there, Errol Pursley, and they banded together and vowed to put together a fantastic music department, primarily to take the talent that was there and keep them off the streets.
Wow.
I lived not that close to Locke, actually. I was actually in Washington, right on the cusp of being in Washington High's district. Had I lived across the street, I would have been in Washington's
Wow.
district.
Right.
But I lived on the other side of the street, so I went to Locke.
And as they say, the rest
And
is
the rest
history.
is history.
Right.
And
was
at the time I was there were a lot of...
Who was the music
Great
director,
students
and who
there,
were some of the great students that were with you?
The music directors were Donald Dustin and Frank Harris, and Reggie Andrews.
Mr. Andrews.
Mr.
yeah.
Andrews. And
Daz band.
he was, exactly, Daz band. And this was when I came, it was his first year of teaching. He
Wow.
had just graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
So
Did y'all give him the blues?
No,
Oh, okay.
not at all. Not at all. Because he was the young hip teacher.
Oh, okay.
He was the one that was going to help us be able to get our point across
Right.
in terms of the kind of music that
we wanted to play. Right.
And also would be the one to use different, at that time, different teaching techniques in order to keep us motivated.
Right.
Relate the music to history. Relate the music to English. Relate the music to all these other things. And so along with these other great master teachers, Reggie was formulating his own way of being able to make the music relate to us. And because he was younger, we thought he wasn't much older than us. So,
Right.
so we would listen. Not that we didn't listen to Harris and Dustin, but it was a different relationship
Right. Of
because of his youth.
Right.
So in the high school at the same time that I was there was Ndugu Chancellor,
Oh, yeah.
He's an alumni
Of our show.
I know.
Yeah.
Gerald Albright
Yes.
Oh, okay.
was there at the same time. Someone who became a very fine actor, William Allen Young, played
Yes.
bass.
Yeah.
And at the time in the school, and there was in the community, the band, the marching band, was the largest gang going. There was 200 of us.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So you had a case and you were in the band, you were safe. And they kept us in school, hours and hours during the day. 7 a.m. almost to 7 p.m. during marching band season. And then, there was, of course, concert band and orchestra and the other things that you would typically have in school back in the day. But we also had this jazz ensemble called Msingi Workshop. And this is where some of the ideas and teaching techniques that have now become pretty commonplace, but at that time were kind of new, where you would allow what you were learning to be able to relate it to your life and the community and what you wanted to do as a musician and all that kind of stuff. Because this was before jazz was institutionalized.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting. How do you categorize yourself? Because when I see you, and I heard Clifton provide the jazz, that's one part of your... I remember the funky part of your life, okay?
Right.
And now, as you become almost, I won't say institutionalized, but when you start dealing with, the Grammys and the NAACP Image Awards, so how do you see yourself?
I wanted to be a musician. I spoke various. There were the idea of, somebody put it really well. They said it's like one language, many dialects.
Yes.
So to be able to function, and I can weep at James Brown and Bach.
Yes, you can.
I can understand the makings and the way music was put together, and the source of the music is a power much greater than all of us. So it's about this being this vessel to be able to just enjoy and impart a certain kind of enjoyment in what it is we do, and that is the true artistry in it for me. So I just love the idea of being able to play all kinds of music. And as I got older and began to learn more about the music of my people and about the music that started in this country with people who look like me, that just kind of allowed me to be able to see jazz as the classical music of contemporary music.
Right.
It allowed me to be able to see it through a different set of eyes and ears. And, since that time, there are no boundaries.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, this is great. This is what makes the show. This
the
is
Holy Grail
music.
right there. Come
That's
on
what
now.
I mean. And this is what.
That's
And who else better to tell our stories than ourselves? And now we channel this and put it out there so people can have it. So this is capturing the history of the music. So thank you so much. As we're gonna continue this. This is just the start. So what we're gonna do though, people do listen to the show for the music.
Okay.
Yes,
And
they
we're
do.
gonna go into some of your music selections put here by the producer extraordinaire, Mr. Greg, New York City. DJ DeVoe, want to take me away?
Let's go.
So we got Shorty's Portion, and the clientele was Kenny Nash, and Dougal Chancellor is playing drums on this. George Bohannon, trombone, former neighbor of mine. Oscar Brashear, and Joe Henderson on sax, and of course Patrice on piano and keyboards. So we got something coming up.
Let's do it. We love Red Grooves. Give us a call.
323-965-1600.
Oh, man, I love this song right here.
Once in desert isle, searching for the love you gave me, looking deep inside for the treasures that I found, the golden mines of time, all the secrets of our hearts. It's always what you find that makes it hard for you to part. Whether it's love, you'll always find somebody. Whether it's you, somebody will find love. Whether it's love, you steal your heart and take you down to love. If you find her, she will steal your heart and take you down to love. Just beneath the surface of your passion, you will find her whispering your name. She will tell of secrets for the asking, and your life will never be the same. You feel her, she will steal your heart and take you down to love. Do you feel her? She will steal your heart and take you down to love. See the concrete melting at her power. She is sometimes naughty but so nice. She will show you pleasures every hour. She won't deny desire has its price. You want her, she can steal your heart and take you down to love. Do you want her? She will steal your heart and take you down to love. Do you feel her? Let her steal your heart and take you down to love. Just feel her, and she'll steal your heart and take you down to love. Means the world to me. But words cannot express the joy you bring. Your love moves me tenderly. To have you by my side means everything I see. Your love has the best of me. If I could give you more than that would be settle for my love, settle for my kiss, settle for my love that you'll never miss. So dear to me, darling, take my hand. Settle for my kiss, 'cause that's all I can give. Settle for my love that you'll never miss. Love means the world to me. And like the ocean
Clifton resisted that urge to sing.
I did, but it's doing something to me though.
Yes. See, that's the kind of song that makes me feel chewy on the inside.
It made me do chewy things.
Lord have mercy.
A couple, I told you, that's where I met my baby mama. One of your songs, I used it, girl.
All right, I'm glad you got some.
He gonna send you that child support check. The bill for them checks.
Boy, I love that song. I took that, put it, and recorded and put it on my reel-to-reel. So I had like 2 or 3 albums with all those good songs on there too. Boy, I had the Pink Champelle and the Black Lights, and the CDs and stuff. That's when I had the game.
Yes,
you know
come on now.
What you gonna do? Some DeVoe mix now? See how DeVoe trying to do a mix on this now?
Yeah, look, something real smooth.
Okay, go ahead, DeVoe. You trying to mix up? You know everybody sampling your music. Anyway,
I
right?
do. I'm
right.
very happy about that.
Because they got to pay when they play, right?
Yeah.
Especially when that Men in Black. I know that.
Oh yeah. You know the story about that?
No.
What was it? You want me to share the story?
Please.
Yes,
please.
Oh, okay.
I know.
So I got this letter in the mail with a cassette in it. Remember cassettes? Mm-hmm. And it was from 20th Century Fox, and they said, please call us about, we've sampled a small part of your song, Forget Me Nots, in this new blockbuster movie theme for Men in Black starring Tommy Lee Jones and our biggest star, Will Smith. So I had been to the movies and I had seen the trailer, but in those trailers, they don't always put the music in right away, So I didn't know that it was going to be in there. But I took the cassette and I put it in the machine. And I said, small sample?
Yeah,
I was about to say, that's the whole song.
So wait a minute. It was great. I love what they did, but I was like, wow, I don't know what to do. And this is when sampling was relatively new.
Oh.
So the process was still very nebulous. So I called my lawyer, and he says, okay, make a copy of the cassette and send it to me. So I made a copy. We didn't have FedEx. So that boy had to get all the way across town and back. Took a couple days. And he says, okay, this is not a sample. This is a copyright situation, meaning that the writers of this tune should include you as the writer in this tune since they used your song as the basis for this new composition.
Right.
So I said, okay, well, that sounds good. So we make the call, and he says, now you got to be prepared for them to say no. I said, okay, so what are we asking for? And he said, you should be asking for half.
Half, right.
Publishing
half of
and
the
writers'
publishing.
royalty? Oh.
Publishers and writers.
Publishing is
royalties.
where the money
You are a
is.
composer on this tune. The team of writers that wrote Forget Me Nots, there were 3 of us, should be on this song, and my publishing company should be splitting it
Right.
with the publishing company of this Men in Black thing. So it sounded fair to me, but it hadn't happened before.
Oh.
And the movie was about to come out in about 3 weeks, so this was clearly not a demo. This was how they were going to use it. So he called, and they said, well, absolutely not. And he says, okay, then you need to take our half out. And they said, well, we can't do that. That's the music. And we were like, yeah, we know. So a couple weeks later, they called, and we worked it all out and everything. So half of that copyright, half of that song, is mine. Came to us. So, but you think about that now in today's musical climate,
Right.
where publishing and royalties and all of those kinds of things are about to be legislated out of here, if they ever even get to the conversation because of downloading.
Wow.
That's not to say that downloading is a bad thing, but what it did do was take the creatives out of it and take their power away in terms of their intellectual property, because people could get the music for free and not pay for it.
Wow.
So under today's standards, I wonder if that would have been the case, if I would have been able to use that. I mean, that set of royalties from all of the albums, from all the things that you're playing, from the songs that I've done, from all the things that have been sampled, without me being under the old model or the old regime of there being licenses and royalties to consider and usage to consider, all this music would just be out there and not being paid for.
You made it happen, though.
You'd be on TMZ. Patrice Rushen sues.
Right.
But it's been a ride to see it happen, and I haven't had nearly, as many situations as other people have had, but I've had a few. So I've had to go to court. I've had to have my music laid up in court. Somebody else's. I mean, so I've seen the process, and it's very deep to have to go through all of that when all somebody had to do is call you on the phone and ask and share.
Right.
So when it blew up to be the Men in Black that we know it to be now, how did that, as a writer, how did that make you feel, aside from the other legal stuff?
Great, because it was his album, which went double platinum, the best of Will Smith, which went triple platinum, the soundtrack to Men in Black, which was quadruple platinum.
Wow.
The use in the movie and the licenses for the movie, and every time you saw it, or on TV or even in the theater, anytime they did a commercial. So whenever you hear
It's cha-ching, huh?
Right.
Exactly.
We say
cha-ching.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's a big deal, and that's why I think writers now are really fighting. They're fighting for their lives. We should all be supporting, that fight and look for equitable ways to be able to compensate them. We're not going to unring the bell. Downloading is here to stay, and it's a beautiful thing. It gives a lot of people a lot of access that they would not have necessarily had before. But along with that came a glutton of, the mentality of the value of it because it's free also went down. And that mentality is something that human beings really have to try to make an adjustment about, because young artists want to do this. They want to do it, but they're not encouraged necessarily to do it by what they would receive on the other end of doing something great. So they'll do something that just maybe temporary.
I say record labels should go back to just selling records.
Well,
don't even do it digital.
Record labels, in not looking at it from the standpoint of how it would have enhanced and perhaps influenced generations and been in on the conversation, were a little more greedy and stopped it.
It's all about money. Yeah.
And they shouldn't have done that. They should have come to the table and said, well, now let's talk about it and figure out how we can make this equitable. And when that didn't happen, the bottom fell out of the music business. And music is free, and that part is not so bad, except for the fact that then how do the creators get paid for it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, when it's digital, it's like you meet the artist. Right. What do you have them sign? An iPod? Doesn't even make sense.
Well,
we had something we can touch.
And also
and
there was
keep it.
And there was value.
Right.
Yeah.
That value in owning an album.
Right.
Owning the album cover.
Yeah.
There was a whole ritual. I don't know about y'all, but I used to go home and you open the thing and you read stuff and you put it on the turntable and it's the whole, it was a whole thing about who was on it. Sometimes you'd buy a record on the basis of who else. If you were a musician, you'd buy a record on the basis of who else is on here. I haven't even heard the record yet, but it's got this people in the rhythm section.
Right. You knew rosters like you would know sports teams, like who's the performers on it, like he was naming them earlier.
And that was all part of it, I think. And that's unfortunately a part of it that we have lost. I hope that as music now is in the hands of young people who are going to school, many of whom are learning not only about the music itself, but learning their art form in conjunction with the business that surrounds it.
Absolutely.
They will raise the bar because now we are interdependent. The people who want to sell the music have to know the people who are making the music. The people who are making the music have to understand what it means to sell the music, and branding and entrepreneurship is a big part of making it happen. So kids who are going to school for contemporary music now are actually in classes where that combination of interests are being addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I was just going to note, you got an honor for the most performed song by motion pictures for that. You got an ASCII award, so ASCAP. So that's great.
Yeah.
As we continue the show, we love Rare Grooves, and we're brought to you weekly by our Spectrum Link. That's right, where you get the fastest internet service. That's right, fastest internet service in the land for your business needs, for uploading and downloading. When your business is a little slow, call Spectrum Link.
Tired of slow internet service? Spectrum Link, the next generation of internet, has arrived to solve your business needs. Spectrum Link, the premier business internet service provider that is better, more reliable, and faster than fiber. All of Spectrum Link's services come complete with symmetrical upload and download speeds. Your internet service is an important part of your business. Don't let slow internet slow your business down. Visit them today at spectrumlink.net. That's spectrumlink.net. Or give them a call at 800-983-6150. That's 800-983-6150. Call right now to find out how you, with the Spectrum Link installation, can receive a free iPad mini while supplies last. Visit them today at spectrumlink.net or give them a call at 800-983-6150. Remember, Spectrum Link, the next generation of internet, has arrived.
That's right, the next
generation
of internet. Thank you very much for that. Why don't you just take it over one more time?
The next generation of internet has arrived.
How fast? One more time.
The next generation of internet has arrived.
By Spectrum Link, right?
Spectrum Link.
That's right. Give them a call today. So as we come out, that last musical selection that we went through, we were talking a little bit about it, and I just wanted to go down the list because you were playing different instruments on each one of those songs. So the first song, what was the first song we had, Greg?
Where There Is Love.
Where There Is Love. All the keyboard parts. I used to use those albums as a way to practice my arranging and writing and stuff like that. So I played all the keyboards on that.
That's right.
Okay. And the next one, from which album was that from?
We played She Will Take You Down to Love.
Yes,
Take Me Down to Love, right?
That one I played guitar.
Oh, you played guitar. Mm-hmm. You didn't play piano. You played piano.
On She Will Take You Down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitar. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we had
Settle for My Love.
That make me moist. I get moist on that.
Oh my God.
You got it.
So the bass player on Settle for My Love is the same bass player who's on Forget Me Nots and on quite a few of the songs named Freddie Washington. We call him Ready Freddie.
Ready, Freddie.
Freddie. Freddie is originally from Oakland, California.
Okay.
And when he wanted to come down to Los Angeles to kind of make a mark as a studio player and stuff, he stayed with my family. And so we used to play every day. And we would play and just play grooves and things like that and change instruments. He plays some guitar, and sometimes he played drums. Sometimes I would play bass, or I would play guitar, and he would play keys, or I would play keys, just practicing, doing what we do.
Shedding.
And when we came up with the idea for Settle for My Love, I used to record a lot of it, and sometimes I would listen back, and then I was like, whoa, there's something in there. We should work on that. So this particular time, I happened to be on the drums. He was playing bass and guitar, and I played keyboards. And so when we recorded it, we finished the song, and when we went in to actually, record the finished song, we decided, well, we should build it just like we built it at home. And that's what we did. So I played drums on that track.
You played some good drums, right?
He played guitar, actually.
Whatever he played, it was good. As we continue the show, We Love Rare Grooves, brought to you by Spectrum Link and Wings Limousine, where you ride like a star. Give us a call.
323-965-1600.
And we're streaming live.
You stream.
We scream.
We scream.
RMC on air.
.com. Give us a call as we continue the show with the fabulous and lovely Patrice Rushen.
MIBs. Here come the MIBs.
Here come the men in black. They won't let you remember.
You good guys dress in black, remember that, just in case we ever face to face and make contact. The title held by me, MIB, means what you think you saw, you did not see. So don't blink, be what was dead is now gone. Black suit with the black Ray-Bans on, walk in shadow, move in silence, guard against extraterrestrial violence. But yo, we ain't on no government list, we straight don't exist, no names and no fingerprints. Saw something strange, watch your back, cause you never quite know where the MIBs is at. And
Here come the men in black. Galaxy defenders. Here come the men in black. They won't let you remember.
now, from the deepest of the darkest of night, on the horizon, bright light into sight, tight camera zoom on the impending doom. But then like boom, black suits fill the room up with the quickness, talk with the witnesses, hypnotizer, neuralizer, vivid memories turn to fantasies. Ain't no MIBs, can I please? Do what we say, that's the way we kick it, you know what I mean? Or see a noisy cricket get wicked on you. We're your first, last, and only line of defense against the worst scum of the universe. So don't fear us, cheer us. If you ever get near us, don't jeer us. We're fearless. MIBs freezing up all the flag. What that stand for? Men in black. And
The men in black.
Wow. What were they listening to?
Fascinating.
Fascinating how your music at that time transcended, as we will say. But those were some of your great hits.
Great mix.
You like
Thank
that
you.
mix?
Thank
Okay.
you.
That's cool.
Well, yeah, coming from the person that made the music.
Right,
And heard many mixes over the years. So you wrote all those. All your hits you wrote.
A lot of those tunes.
Ching Ching.
We were talking. We were talking
Ching.
earlier about how people that you grow up with and that you are around as musicians, especially, we shared a lot, and that is something else that is a little bit different in the digital age, when it is possible for one or two people to
Do everything.
Right.
We couldn't do everything. We wanted to, but we couldn't do everything, and we had deadlines and a limited amount of resources in terms of studio time. And we loved to play, and part of playing is sharing. So what you heard there, I have to say, is a collaborative effort on the part of all the musicians who participated on it, and the writers and co-writers who worked on it. We really we were having fun. We were doing what we were doing. And I think people ask me all the time, they said, well, the music still has a fresh element and sounds current, even though it was recorded a long time ago. But at that time, I took a lot of heat about it.
Yes, you did.
I took a lot of heat about, there was a part of my audience that had become accustomed to seeing me in a certain realm of jazz.
Straight ahead jazz.
Right.
And I was never, ever supposed to do anything other than go down that lane. And I really love that lane.
Yeah.
But I also grew up at a time where I was also listening to other kinds of music too. And when I was in high school, that was the era of, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire played my high school prom.
Oh, wow.
So, yes. So hearing the blend of the different kinds of music, influenced nonetheless by jazz, but how it, I had heard Sly Stone, I had heard the Beatles, I had heard all of these different things that were also a part of the musical vocabulary that I enjoyed.
Well, there are a lot of groups that started off as a jazz group. I mean, you said Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Kool and the Gang.
Donald Byrd.
Definitely Donald Byrd.
Well, like I said before, the way that we came to the music was through jazz, the music of the church, blues, and things like that.
Yeah.
That was the popular music of its time.
Right.
So when we were adopting some of those things in terms of the kinds of music that we were doing later, and adding these funk elements and adding the jazz elements and put them all together into this combination of something else, it was a trip to see how people had allowed the business of music to draw these lines in the sand about how and what kind of music we were supposed to do.
Right.
And being between those lines was very, very difficult for me. Really, really hard.
And that's
because
just like you hear in the background now.
Exactly.
That's where you started out traditional, right?
Well, it wasn't traditional. I mean, it was just music.
Right.
And that was, when you put on a certain shirt, you might have another color shirt in your closet. It doesn't make you different because on one day you wear red, next day you wear green.
Yeah.
The point is that you can.
Right.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be great musicians who could play anything. The other part I'll say about that too is that we grew up in Los Angeles. Here, the idea of versatility here, that was what was prized.
Right.
Yeah.
Those people who were nameless, faceless studio musicians had yachts.
Yeah.
And on the breaks, we're reading the stock market. There was a different kind of musician that you could actually be also. Be successful artistically, be amazing aesthetically on your instrument or whatever, but could also go to the bank and feed your family.
Right.
And we saw all of it. We were able to see all sides. We could go to the clubs and hear the masters, and they would come to us. We would convince them to come to us. That's how I met Herbie Hancock and the people that were in that band, the Mwadishi band. They were playing for a week at the Lighthouse. And the owner of the Lighthouse, Reggie, would drive us down there in his van, and he would let us sit in the back and drink fruit punch. So we actually heard jazz musicians in their environment.
Fruit punch.
We were 15.
And Herbie joined the 70s, didn't he?
Then on another night, you could go and hear the Pointer Sisters.
That's right.
Right.
And then on another night, you could go to the Forum, and you might catch Parliament Funkadelic. I saw Parliament Funkadelic and Sly on the same night. You know, so it was all about the music, and it was, and then go to the studio and see the disciplined and focused session musician, you know, fronted by a Quincy Jones or an Oliver Nelson, or somebody like Tom Scott, Dave Grusin, people like this. And it's like, whoa, there are all these different means of expression. And the prize is to be able to speak them all.
Yes.
And to do them all in such a way that you could talk to everybody. So when we're looking at that American Bandstand clip, and I remember being on American Bandstand.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I remember being on Soul Train. And what was moving for me was not that I was on the show, but that these people were moving to
your
this
music.
music.
Right.
All
Powerful,
people.
right.
Now, when you're creating music, like you take the song like Forget Me Nots, I know my mother cursed the day that my brother and I discovered that song, because my brother had this very obnoxious loud clap that he used to love to do all the time. And when that song would come on, he had a perfect excuse to do that, because it's in the song, Mom. She'd say, knock it off. He'd say, but don't you hear it's in the song? So how do you create those kind of memorable things like a clap or something like that? Or is it just something that just happens? Or is it something that you think about? You say, this song needs something that's going to stick.
It's kind of a combination of all of that. I think the experience of, you know, music making in lots of different areas teaches you about form. It teaches you about how, and remember, I was in that eurythmics class. This is what they used to do to us. They would play music and say, what color do you see?
Wow.
What color do you see? So some people hear music, they actually see color. The point is that music communicates something to people on a physical level. And learning about different repertoire and stuff like that, and playing, you can see people and see their reaction, and you remember. So as we were writing music that was dance music, the first criteria for us and priority for us was the music had to feel good to us. We were going to be a harder critic than anybody else. And it had to feel good to us. We didn't mind it being different, because we knew that if there was something about it that was truthful and honest, it was going to resonate with somebody else's truth and honesty too. And that was what was important. And I wanted to balance, because I thought it was possible. I didn't think that in order to be commercially successful, you had to disregard an artistic aesthetic. I didn't think so.
That's right. I call it the physics of music.
You could mix the two. To be good at something and to be the best at something gives you access to something that is a little bit different than being just like everybody else or average. So we explored that and we relished in it, and that's being the peer group that I was around. We were all coming from that place. We all just wanted to be really good.
Now, what is some of the work that you're most proud of, out of all the work that you've done, where you sit back and say, gosh, you know, I can't believe we did that, or I did that? Every recording, there's a moment in every recording where I remember the session, or I remember what we did to try to make something happen. Some were very easy, some were difficult. I've played a lot of different kinds of music, so sometimes it's not even things that I've recorded. It's been records I've maybe been on. Certainly standing in front of a group of my peers, conducting arrangements that I have written or co-written with other people who are my peers on television was a big deal. Wow.
A huge deal. To be able to cast people in those seats that look like me, because I know my white counterparts never thought about that in terms of when they would call people, they would just call who they wanted to call. I was told sometimes, you know, we don't want an all-black band. Be careful. But, you know, you learn to understand that don't shoot the messenger.
Right.
You know, hear the message.
Right.
And in that, it meant that they didn't know that there were a lot of people who were really happened to be of color, who were at a certain level in their music,
Top of the game. Top of the game.
Who wanted and deserved opportunities to be heard in these other arenas, because we could do that and our thing.
There you go.
Right.
And we wanted the opportunity to do both, and so we would grab it whenever we could.
Yes.
Now, Ndugu has an African name, or he's discovered his African name. Do you have one? What is it?
We were actually named by the same person. We were named by Mtume.
Mtume named you too?
Back in the day,
I love this.
They would give you brothers and sisters who were part of the movement that was celebrating our blackness would give you names, like name you. So mine is Muimbi.
Muimbi.
And what does that name mean?
I'm trying to remember now. I'm trying to remember.
We're going to have to Google it.
We'll have to Google it.
Send her a forget me not.
Right.
But it's funny, you meet a lot of people over the years, but that's how I know from what era a person that I know them from, because very few people know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Well, he told us that little secret. I'm not from that era,
And to me, he named me too during that time.
What do he call you? Junebug? That doesn't count.
That's what he named me.
All right.
Named me Junebug during that time. As we continue the show, we love.
You love from that.
I ain't from that era. Just want to point that out.
I just wanted to point that as we continue the show, we love Rare Grooves. Give us a call. Talk to
323-965-1600.
streaming live right now
Hopefully.
on rmconair.com.
There we go.
Take us away with
Welcome to
Yeah, you took us away. You were going right.
Young whippersnapper.
You went right to the commercial. It was perfect.
Welcome to Wings Limousine, where we get it right on the first time and create the magic in your night. The owner of Wings Limousine, Deborah Leggins, established her company of solid principles: bring service with a smile and laughter.
I drive people around from girls' night out, weddings, airport pickups, quinceañeras, you name it, that's what I do.
She has received several awards from the Better Business Bureau, from the mayor's office, as well as the governor. She escorted several celebrities to red carpet events and has served as the official transportation company of the Sparks and the Clippers. Beyond Wings' fleet of luxury cars, Wings also has special party buses to Vegas, or a more intimate ride using our one-of-a-kind Mercedes Sprinter. And if your company wants to brand their name on our vehicles, we also offer wrapping. Remember just one, the name you can trust for superior service: Wings Limousine. Call now for reservations.
Just once, can we find a way to finally make it right? Make the magic last for more than just one night.
Wings
We'll have you know,
Limousine.
DeVoe, that you were the David Ruffin of that group over there. 'Cause last week we was missing you.
Give Wings Limousine a
We
call.
don't
It's
want you to go all the way, David
323-299-4647. That's 299-4647.
Ask for Jimmy to drive you.
Ask for Jimmy to drive you?
Yeah.
Is that okay, Jimmy, that we asked for you? I don't want Deborah to get upset, because Deborah Liggins.
They'll all
say,
be calling like, what do you mean Jimmy not
Right,
right,
Jimmy.
That engine's company.
Jimmy said what Jimmy gonna do. This is what Jimmy gonna do. As we continue the show, we love Rare Grooves. Thank you for listening to us all over the globe. As we're here with Patrice Rushen, and we're getting it as we normally do.
Yeah.
We get the history and the
inside
lesson.
scoop.
That's right.
And the lesson in the history, right?
That's right.
As we do here on We Love
I
Rare
call it the
Grooves.
soul food. We getting soul food.
We're getting soul food tonight. Thank you so much for being here in the Groove Studios with us this week. This is now some Rare Grooves. We're going Rare Grooves with Patrice right now. So see if you know about these Rare
Well,
Grooves of
we even
yours.
got one in the background. It's called Before the Dawn.
Right.
And that was Lee Rittenhour on guitar.
Hey.
Harvey Mason and Dougal Chancellor on drums.
Come on, Greg.
For sure. Hubert Laws.
Right.
The Laws family.
Laws families, alumni of our show.
And a couple of the others, Kenneth Nash and George Bohannon on trombone.
George
Oh,
Bohannon.
Kenny
Okay.
Nash.
Bohannon.
As we continue, take us away,
Yeah, let's
DJ
get some more
DeVoe.
stuff.
Welcome to We Love Rare Grooves, and
Nice.
that's what makes us rare
Yes.
and saucy here
Yeah.
in the Groove Studios with Patrice Rushen. Did we bring back something on you?
Whoa.
Did we sneak that one
You
on?
did.
you?
Love Rare Grooves.
Hadn't heard that in a long time.
Talking about let the funk. Is that what it was?
Let
the
there
funk?
be funk.
Let there be funk.
Wow. Then that last one, Cha Cha, I hadn't heard that in.
You haven't heard that? Oh, that's my song right
right.
there,
Wonderful.
boy. All these my song. I like those songs, girl. Man, we was cleaning them up.
Yeah.
So as we continue on, Greg, why everybody y'all just went like
I don't know.
something happened?
Something happened. But
Something happened.
we ain't
We
figured
were
it out.
absorbing the moment.
The moment there.
Groove moment. Yeah.
So tell us about those 3 songs, and then Santana.
Okay, let me see.
Let there be
Let
funk.
there be funk.
Let there be
Oh,
funk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the last album that I did for Prestige, which was the first label I was on. That was probably the pivotal album. The album I think the album is called Let There Be Funk. Oh no, the album is called Shout It Out.
Yes.
That was the pivotal album because that's the one where I started really blending the dance music sensibilities that I liked with the jazz sensibilities that I liked and experimenting with that a little bit.
Yeah.
So use the talk box that we used to
Voice
have.
box,
You thought it was a vocoder.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
vocoder wasn't out yet. So remember, we had none of that. We were like still dealing with the tube and
Yeah,
the little
yeah,
box.
yeah.
And again with experimenting with synthesizers and stuff like that. But it was about the grooves at that point for me. It was about trying to. I had heard a lot of people who tried to play jazz that didn't really nail the funk element, and funk people that had nailed the groove, but the solos were weak. So I was wondering, there must be a way to be able to combine this thing so that it might be fun for everybody. So that's what I was trying to do on that.
What a musical genius. Oh, after that,
What was next, Greg?
Hang it up.
Hang it up.
hang it up.
Okay, so there it is. That was the first Elektra album. And that was the first cut on that album and the first single that was released from there. And I think what I just said was probably brought into fruition on that album, where it was really the start of finding a sound that allowed me to play with all of these different musical inspirations and elements in one situation. And the budgets allowed us to do that back then too.
Right.
And I didn't have big budgets by those standards, but by today's standards, it was huge. So I used that opportunity. I wanted to be a film composer. That's what I wanted to do. And so I learned orchestration and took arranging classes and all this other kind of stuff, but I never had a chance to use it. So I used it on my own album. So all the horns that you hear, strings that you hear,
Horn,
I was
right,
arranging all of
percussions,
that,
exactly.
that stuff too.
So where did the OOO come
Whoa,
from? Yeah.
just something to say. It felt like that.
And then I think we went flip back, and then we had Cha Cha.
Yeah. Then we experimented more with, I think, paring it back. Back to the rhythm section, back to just feelings on the albums. I liked for there to be a certain diversity within the album in terms of styles and size ensembles and things like that. Plus, just from a strictly practical standpoint, we were also looking for ways. What you used to do an album, and then depending on how well that single or that album did, determined whether you would go on tour.
Right, that's
It's,
true.
it's flipped now.
Yeah.
Right.
But back then, you were just trying to get to the point that enough people were hearing your stuff that the demand would be for
Right,
you
you
to
heard
be
on the-
seen.
Exactly. Heard on the radio. in the
Radio
clubs.
was a big deal.
deal.
Radio was the way to get to the people. Radio was the communicator, and radio allowed the people to speak about the music that they loved or the music that they didn't like. And so, an artist could be, broken really at a small radio station, and then the word
From
could
there, right.
spread.
So you started jazz, then fusion, and then funk, and then kind of the R&B.
Well, I guess that's the trajectory that it took based upon the business model of what the record
Yeah.
companies had built and the record business used to be. used to walk into a store, and you can still, I guess, do that where you see categories and stuff like that. But today, people just like what they like, and they tell other people about it. And that's one of the good things that came out of that decomposition of what the old model was. The new paradigm allows for music to be able to get to people, and people determine whether they like it or not just based upon its merit and what they feel about it. They don't have to be hyped into it on the basis of what a particular record company or even a particular radio station is pushing down their throats as being the most important. There is still some of that, but I don't think it's as widespread, which is why you have artists break out that have never been on the radio.
There you go.
Right.
Shantini?
So we have a segment called Chantini in 60 Seconds where I ask you several random questions and you have to answer them on the spot in 60 seconds.
Okay.
And the young whippersnapper is going to give us a timer.
Yeah.
So, favorite store to shop at?
I'm hyperventilating. Macy's.
Your favorite song to perform?
Forget Me Nots.
What was your first job?
Playing music.
Greatest piece of advice?
Do what you love what you do. You never work a day in your life.
Hey.
Nickname a lover gave you?
Oh, that's it.
Oh, that's the name? Is that the name?
No, that's not the name. No, that is not the name.
Like, damn.
That one, I can't even answer that one.
Celebrity crush?
Ooh, I've had many celebrity crushes.
Name one.
Oh, Michael Jackson, Prince. Name one. You said one. I did too.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
She was ready to name a
favorite
couple
love
more.
song of yours?
Of mine.
Settle
for My Love.
That was 60 seconds. Very good.
How did I know that?
That's pretty good.
Impeccable timing from an impeccable musician. Very good.
Thank you so much.
That was hilarious with the lover name, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know that's going to be.
I heard that one before.
Right.
That's a new one.
I like the song.
There you go, right there. That's what.
Wanna be your
That's the second time, right? Remember last week Shantae was telling us about her experience with Prince. She
right.
missed out on it, though.
You know, Prince had
it going on.
I know. What's up? You got a Prince story too? She had a Prince story.
Oh,
you got a Prince story?
Yeah, that picture.
Well, no, yeah, I do.
You let him go that night too?
Huh?
You let him go?
Well, he was in. We were in Birmingham. He was doing promotion. I was doing promotion. But no, I do have a Prince story for you.
Go ahead.
What is it?
So he was really, 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 really worried about Purple Rain. He was very concerned about if it was going to be a hit. He had put it on the line as far as he was concerned. And I happened to be in New York for, I think, record promotion or record session or something. He happened to be in New York. We were staying in the same hotel. So he found out and he said, let's talk. I said, okay. That was one of those conversations, and there's probably people, everybody has a certain image, I guess, of celebrities and what they think. I saw him at his most vulnerable, where he was like, I just said, did you do the best you could? And he said, yes, I did. But he was really concerned about that. Of course, we know what happened after he grew up.
Right.
All of that.
We know what color he saw when he heard that song.
But the idea of someone who, that we revere as being so self-assured and so clear about music and about what he wanted to do and allow it to happen was at that point, like really, just like any of us, the rest of us would be on the big quiz or the big test, not knowing what was going to happen and being really concerned about it.
That's so cool about it is that he put himself out there, and that's a scary thing.
It is. And that's the first time and wasn't the last time, and this is why my feelings about him are profound and deep, because the next time we had a similar conversation, he entrusted me with that vulnerability again, and it was that appearance at the Grammys when he and Beyonce opened the Grammys.
Right, I remember that. Yes.
Okay, and the director and producers really wanted him to do everything live. The vocals were live, his guitar was live, Beyonce was live, but that's a huge show. They rehearse it the day of, they tear it down and build it back up and then go, and they were first. And I was told to go over and talk him into, don't use any tracks at all, talk him into you know, they were pre-recordings, we called them. Don't use it, just do it live. It would be so exciting. And he actually said, what should I do? And again, you know, I say that to say this, that our image of people, sometimes we forget that they're people.
Yeah, that's right.
And when they are at their most vulnerable or when they have to make certain kinds of decisions, that's when they go to people that they can trust. And so to feel like I was one of those that he trusted with something
That's
like
awesome,
that
yeah.
was really cool.
Yeah.
And spoke to our relationship
Right.
professionally as artist to artist.
And so, and that leads us to right now where you're at. How is it now as you're doing, you know, Academy Awards and all the top, managing singers and musicians now in terms of dealing with those insecurities, their egos, and all that? How's that been for you?
Most of the time it's been pretty cool. I think it has to do with a certain level of respect and understanding that I know where they are at that moment, you know, emotionally, what's going on. It's a big deal, especially television, because you don't have a lot of time. And you can't back it up. You can't change it. It is what it is. And then when it goes out, those kinds of shows are live most of the time, or live to tape, and whatever it is, it is. So there's an element of trust and that I have that in what I have done as an artist has translated among other artists into being one of them and being worthy of their trust is a huge thing that I don't take lightly.
And it's a spirit. You could feel that. You can feel that, you know, with another person.
You
so
can.
yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
As we're getting close to that time,
We're at it. We're there.
we're there.
We may have to
We-
double up next week.
We're gonna have to double up on the Dusty of the week.
Put it back in the crate.
We gotta put it back in the crate. So no Dusty of the week brought to you by SpectrumLink with the fastest internet service in the land.
So how do we keep
Next
in touch
generation.
with Patrice
Well,
Rushen?
well, no, we're gonna close out with one more. No, I can't do wishful. I gotta do wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I gotta do wishful thinking.
That's why we skipped the Dusty.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna do wishful thinking. I gotta do wishful thinking.
All right, then do wishful thinking.
Do wishful thinking.
Yeah.
All right, DJ.
Or
DeVoe.
thinking wishful.
And then we're gonna come back with Ms Patrice Top 5.
I have talked and walked beside you. If only in a dream I had last night. I adore you. Butterfly dreams and thoughts about you. Gliding in endless flight past my heart. I love you. Shall I put my arms around you? Would it be too bold if I did? Should I approach you? Oh, how many times I've watched you. All of my intentions have been for you to try me. You like my music, 'cause there's love in my song. Wish I knew ya, could talk to ya. Wishful thinking. I am a poetess. We can run all day long. Let me know ya, I can show ya.
That's a PCH song right there.
Man, that do something
Riding up to 101.
to you. Man,
That's PCH, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
PCH music right there.
Yeah.
I'm playing a lot of C's off of that one right there.
Lord have mercy. That's 2.
She got 2 tonight.
2.
We done went overtime with you, Ms Rushen.
Well,
But it's good
so
like
glad.
that.
Overtime.
It's good like
He
that.
got to get home, the young whippersnapper
To his
engineer.
wife. Yeah.
Hey, you haven't heard who we got in the studio? Come on now.
Haven't you heard?
The missus gonna have to
Haven't you-
understand.
So it's about that time as we close the show.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do our top 5.
Wow.
Top 5.
That
the
is,
top
you know,
5.
top 5. That's pretty hard.
Yeah.
So what you got?
All right. Ready?
We
Yeah.
ready.
Miles Davis,
Yes.
Oh, Miles. Okay.
Stevie Wonder,
Yes,
The
of
Wonder
course.
Man.
Herbie Hancock,
Herbie.
Love.
Quincy Jones,
Yeah.
and Prince.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Now,
I'm
this
good.
was really difficult.
All right.
Because, I mean, I listened to a
What's your
lot
honorable mention? Go ahead and give me a couple of honorable mentions.
You know, I can't, Michael Jackson did a lot of different things. Frank Sinatra did a whole
Love
bunch of
Frank.
different things.
Yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald, one of my favorite vocalists of all time, Shaka Khan.
Right.
I mean,
Pootie Tang.
and the
you know?
list is growing, especially as there are more and more people who
Right.
are developing as great artists and who are kind of transcending category. Layla Hathaway,
Robert Glasper.
Terry Lynn
Come on,
Carrington, Esperanza.
Right.
You talked about. So come on.
Hey, Terry Lynn said she would come on the show.
Well, you better get her up here.
Is she in LA or
No,
Boston?
she's in Boston.
That's
but
right.
she comes often. So.
Right. So we got
Yeah,
hook
we
that
gotta
up.
work
If
that
you can
out.
take that, because I hit her on Facebook. She said she would do it.
Okay.
So how do we keep in touch with Patrice Rushen? Are you into the social media biz?
I'm into the social media biz. I do have an authorized website that you can go to on Facebook. There is also a website that you can look at, www.patricerushen.com. So, yeah.
Are you on the Twitter?
Yeah.
I am on the Twitter.
Okay.
Fluent
Patrice
One.
Rushen.
She on the Twitter?
On the
Fluent
Twitter.
One.
Fluent One. There
She's
you
on
go.
the Twitter.
Tweet,
So,
tweet.
and then, I'm around. You
You're
see
right.
me, I'm in different places. I'm
Yeah.
playing, and I'm involved a lot with a lot of the students, and both at Berkeley College of Boston, and of course at the University of Southern California, right here in LA.
Yeah.
We saw a couple of years ago at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza.
Right.
Yes, you did.
Like,
You
hey,
did.
Patrice.
that there's something about being from LA that growing up here and playing, for the home crowd is awesome. We don't get to do it enough.
All right.
And a lot of times, because there's so many wonderful musicians who happen to make LA their home, some from here and some are not from here but live here now, sometimes the homegrown ones are we forget about them. But
Forget
there's a
about
lot
home, huh?
there's a lot of people here, and we love to play. So
Yeah.
Well, we love hearing you anytime, any place. I mean, I got a place, Big Red Productions. You can come play for us. And if you need security for the next time you perform, then, I'm going to call you up. I'm your new security guard.
okay,
This is security.
you can be security even though you have such a great following of people who are now you need security.
He's
Yeah,
grabbing.
I still got it.
Grabbing a little bit
Right,
right
I'm gra- I can't. I still can't get in places. They never get me in places, so I got to go in as security.
Can I just say something about you guys in this show?
Yes.
It's really important that our history in terms of the music is not just out there on the recordings, to be able to have people in the studio to talk to them, to be able to get certain kinds of anecdotes and information is really a part of the music too. That's a part of the oral history that is important and has been the history of this music and our survival. So thank you for being willing to go out on a line and a limb and to make a show like this happen for the people that want to hear it. It is particularly important to people in other parts of the world to be able to understand the makeup of the music that has become the foundational music for a lot of their popular music as well.
Right, yeah.
So I offer for my fellow artists our thanks.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
Well, thank you. We really appreciate that as we do it from the bottom of kindness. We just doing it naturally, for the love of the music.
And that that's what shows.
So what we do here on We Love Rare Grooves for all of our alumni, you got to come back again because you got some stuff we
Dude,
didn't
I'm
even
ready
get to.
anytime.
Right?
We didn't talk about you. We got about 10
We got
things
a
we didn't
whole
talk
lot
about.
of things we didn't
We
get
talked
to.
about USC.
Okay,
we,
yeah. Big stuff going on.
There you go.
But I know you got nominated for a lot of things. You got a lot of awards. But this is from the team here. We Love Rare Grooves for taking the time to share in our studios tonight. We thank you for gracing our studios.
Thank you.
And then look at DeVoe brought some flowers. DeVoe brought some flowers. Look at them.
Thank you very much. This is excellent. Thank you so much. I will treasure the flowers for the next couple of days.
Right.
And
Flowers deserves a kiss.
And the mic
There you
for a
go.
life.
Again.
Right.
There you go. He was trying to work that, okay?
All right. There you go.
So as we continue, as we do every Monday night here on We Love Rare Grooves, coming to you across the airways, on the internet, on your iPad, Ustream, we all scream for We Love Rare Grooves. Hey, I just thought of that one. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Go ahead,
Hey, watch
Clifton.
out
Go ahead
now.
now, Big Red.
Hey, watch our replays on our show on YouTube, also on our Facebook page, also our Twitter,
on the Twitter.
on the Twitter. And continue to support the project because we got something special coming up in the month of September. We're coming up on celebrating our 100th show. Hopefully you'll be in town for that day.
Awesome.
Yes.
We're trying to get it together now, but hopefully you'll come back and join us at any time. And anything you got going on, we'll be glad to support it
And
from
please
our
do that
airways.
so we can help promote you. We do that for our alumni because you're part of the family, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Thank you so much.
So as we got to get out of here, as we went overtime, thank you so much, Young Whippersnapper, for making this happen for us. And thank our listening audience for all over the globe here on We Love Rare Grooves. We'll see you next week with the incredible, Preston Glass.
Yeah.
We got Preston coming on next week.
Okay.
And he has a new release out. So,
Wonderful.
So thank you very much for coming on.
It is my pleasure.
Ms Rushen. Oh, man, this has been so much.
Ooh, yes.
Yabba dabba do.
DJ DeVoe. Greg Sneed, thank you so much for putting that musical arrangements together. Go ahead, Greg. I think you got something on the tip of your tongue.
No, just thank you, Patrice, for showing up.
Yeah.
We love
All right.
you. We love you. We love you.
Robert A., the consultant, Shantani, and C. Mosen from the whole We Love Rare Groove team. Thank you very much. We'll see you again. Same bad
We
time.
Love Rare Grooves.
Take me away, Johnny.